right now, but them being able to represent MENA and represent this region is going to be big for them at such a big tournament at ESL One Kuala Lumpur.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, without saying like which team you think is going to win, is there any team that you kind of like want to win? Because part of me really wants to see Melreen on LAN. You know, he hasn't had that big opportunity to be able to, you know, compete against the best of the best in that sort of LAN setting too many times. So I'm really looking forward to that possibility if Falcons are able to get the W, and what better way to do it than his Lena. But of course, Quest, this roster has been incredibly impressive as well, ever since getting Malik back in. Again, just a reminder, this is the last team to take a series off of Team Spirit.
Yeah, I mean, I think for both these two teams, they have some storied past, and it really will have a good storyline no matter where we do end up. So I'm excited to see whoever makes it towards there. I think it'll be good to see what this Team Falcons roster will be able to do if they get that LAN experience nice and early on in their career. Like if you come into a qualifier like this, you're like a superstar team, you win it out, you beat a team like PSG Quest in a full best of 5, you go in towards a LAN, and that's when you can able to utilize a lot of the experience that comes in from, you know, the likes of like Crit, Amar, Skidder, you know, Snaking, all these players to be able to... Yeah, exactly. To be able to put a lot of that experience into a player like Malreen and see what he looks like on LAN as well will be very exciting. And then obviously Quest being able to represent their region and be able to pick up their socks from a pretty disappointing TI and a pretty disappointing end to the year in their official capacity would be a nice start to see if they do well at Kuala Lumpur.
Yeah, for sure. We will have to wait and see, though. It's just game 1 of potentially 5 games, and it really could go either way. One thing that I'm really looking for is, I don't think they're necessarily set in stone with what the item build is going to be on Amar, whether it be straight into the Blink Dagger or if it's going to be that more conservative Blade Mail first. I think it's really going to depend probably on how some of these other lanes go. I think you know, if things are snowballing out of control, by all means, get into the Blink Dagger, make sure that you can get that quick pick off, open up the map even further. But if not, there's no harm in just being able to sit back, farm a little bit more, have a little bit of extra safety against... You know that there's going to be frequent rotations coming from the likes of an Earth Spirit, a Grimstroke, a Nature's Prophet. So just having that little bit of extra survivability isn't the worst either.
Yeah, exactly. And it's all kind of play it by ear and see how it does pan out. Should have a pretty okay time in this lane. You know, Kaori is really just going to sit here and throw these auto attacks in, and as soon as you have those moments of courage levels up here for Amar, and it's obviously with overwhelming odds, it's going to be hard for TA2000 to just abuse the illusions. So, it's be a pretty good lane early on for Amar, and see whether or not that transitions into early net worth. Having a check in towards the bottom side, Luna has been one of those heroes that has been a little bit of a counter to some of these scarier off-lane heroes like the Timbersaw and the Bristleback, just because she is one of those composite kind of heroes that can deal a lot of physical damage but also a lot of magical damage early on to try and find them at their weak points, but it's about whether or not they can utilize that to take him down.
I mean, even just the Enchantress as well, right? Like, you get a Vanguard, that's not going to provide you too much safety.
And that's where it makes it a lot harder, right? Because you're like, oh, do I get an early cloak? Do I, you know, just go Vanguard plus a few braces? It really does kind of change the way that you need to play. Whereas if you're playing against, you know, most of the time an Agi carry that's mainly just physical damage, you get the Vanguard and you feel unstoppable. You feel like an unkillable god, right? But
exactly, and even just smaller things as well. Like this Enchantress pick is good for a number of different reasons. I talked about, you know, picking it together with the Luna, why it was good against a potential Darkseer counter, but also, you know, I know you were mentioning the likes of maybe a Centaur being able to come out in combination together with a Grimstroke, but even just denying that Inkswell combination as well, right? You can get rid of that with the Enchant as well. So, you know, it's a really clever pick coming through here from Falcons.
Yeah, it seems like they've really... Yeah, it seems like they've really gone back to the lab, and I'd imagine, you know, when you look at games like this, it has been
forced to TP all the way back to base. He got TP'd in onto, and I think he got kicked back underneath the tier 1 tower.
Yeah, he got rolled on after a few of those creeps goes down, and as soon as the roll's gone, they know that there's not all too many stuns, so they're able to walk away. And just kind of circling back to my point for Team Falcons, like, this is probably the team that you're preparing for if you're preparing for any team, right? You go into a closed qualifier, a lot of the time you're focusing on yourself rather than other teams, just because that's the nature of these qualifiers. But if you're looking at this MENA region, it is basically PSG Quest as well as Team Falcon who are going to be the top 2 teams by a large margin.
Yeah,
Kaori.
sure. And
One bash and he's dead. I don't think they even need the bash. They will be able to get the Sprout going up, but Kaori's just going to get chased down. First blood going the way here of Crit. Doesn't need the bashes, it seems.
probably doesn't need all of that net worth either. He finished that previous series number 3 on net worth on his position 4 Spirit Breaker, and, well, he's not stopping the charge. He's just keeping in onto TA2000, making sure that he doesn't feel safe to get any kind of last hits in this lane. Mid lane, pretty stagnant, right? Level 5 v level 4. Noob's about to head on to his own level 5. But Malrine, as expected, he's just built up a nice little bit of a lead already.
Yeah, he always has to be careful, though, about the potential of a roll and a kick underneath the tower coming in from Noob, but the fact that he's really starting to out-level this Earth Spirit is the scary part. As soon as that Laguna Blade comes up, it's going to be very, very scary for Noob to be able to stay in this lane. One Light Strike Array and a Laguna Blade, that is kind of all she wrote. Amar, he's got a lot of damage in that top lane. Didn't get that extra proc from the Moment of Courage, so he will walk away scot-free for now.
Charge mid.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of damage. Noob's is dead. I think he's going to roll away, so he will be invulnerable for a little bit, but it looks like Crit. Ooh, okay. I was going to say, is Crit going to fully commit
so
for
much
it?
experience, though, right? Wave basically fully denied by Malrine there.
And this is where it starts getting rough, right? You've always got the gank ability coming in from the Spirit Breaker. Yeah, you can do the same thing with the Nature's Prophet, but Malrine's got so much extra burst damage that it's going to be hard for the Earth Spirit to try and stick on top of her.
Crit's going to hang around as well. He just got a Blood Grenade delivered. He's probably going to put down a nice deep Observer Ward. You've got Snake King that, with the nighttime vision, has patrolled all the way behind the tower. And you've got that Siege Creep that's going to be hitting in onto this tower as well. So good TP coming through from the Grimstroke, but well, not if it means he's just going to instantly die. Yeah, ends up cancelling it. And this is going to be a lot of damage hitting into the tower. Clever boulder smash there by Noob, just to try and get the tower as... the creep wave as low as possible, so that creep wave... and the Siege Creep in particular goes down as quickly as he can.
Yeah, he's trying his best to at least try and hold on towards this tier 1 tower, but it's going to be very hard with 3 heroes running directly towards him. How tanky
they haven't
these...
been able to do anything to the cores in the side lanes as well while all this is happening.
Yeah, that's the worst part, right? It's just, you can just see how annoying this Enchantress is with how tanky that her creep has been, that it's able to walk in and tank that tier 1 tower. So the Earth Spirit loses his tower at 6 minutes into the game, so this just kind of completely unlocks Malrine. And he's able to just do whatever he wants here in this mid lane. They're going to try and go for something to happen here. Noob, I'm not quite sure about this. Light Tracker will come in. Kaori is going to try and get the fight going. Noob, though, with the Magnetize, will go down, but there's a double damage rune that's going to be more than enough.
Maybe
and Kaori goes down, and Marlene will be able to easily walk away. Oh no, it was an interesting go there from Noob. I thought maybe with the level 6 it was going to be enough damage, but it just was not. Now Snaking will go down to Malik in the jungle.
Does it really matter? Probably not. I mean, he was just off the mark slightly with one of the rolling boulders there, so wasn't able to get the kill as a result of that.
Is Amar going to get chased down by a Alpha Wolf?
He can just go underneath the tower and he'll be fine.
Yeah, okay. He's got the Ink Swallow as well, so it's going to be alright for now. I thought, I was like, oh, maybe a few of those extra crits from the Wolf Pack, that could have been scary, but it wasn't enough to take down Omar, so yeah, Malrine off to a red-hot start once again. Already has the Arcane Boots, 1,200 gold towards these
He's almost
boosted
doubled
travel.
the Earth Spirit's net worth, man. It's a 4k net worth lead this early on.
He's almost doubled his CS as well, and the fact that he gets that double kill in the mid lane, that was kind of, you know, you just cross off that mid lane and say it's an absolute wash now. Let's see what Noob can do on these side lanes.
Charge bottom.
Yeah, Malik's dead. LSA is there as well. They've got the Laguna Blade. They're just going to zap down the Bristleback, and fortunately Malik was a little bit too far away. Now Amar, he's the one that they're going to try and set their attention towards here for PSG Quest, and there's a lot of burst damage comes in there from the overwhelming odds with 4 heroes around and multiple illusions, but wasn't enough to get the kill on a Kaori.
Not quite. Oh, okay, no, it's Trent. I saw Gloves of Haste coming up to Noob, and I'm like, not the Midas, bro. Not the Midas.
That would have been an interesting start to this series with TA2000 already hitting the Midas button.
Of course he is.
My boy TA2000, he's the GOAT. Anything he wants to do, he can do it.
True. Well, they're just yoinking away some of these. Well, I think it was just one stack actually on the hard camp that they were able to yoink away. And now still using that nighttime to full effect. They haven't revealed at all very brief reveal there with the Warpine Raider. Malik very smartly, though, just sticking inside of the tree line. They get a brief glimpse of him.
Is it going to be enough, though? They want to go directly here onto Marlene, and they will do the damage to take down the Lina. So in combination with the Inkswell and the Magnetize, this was a little bit too much to chew for the side of Team Falcons.
It's just one of those instances where you really needed the Bristleback to be facing you, right? If he does, then you're going to be happy enough to pop the Laguna Blade, and that really goes to show why Amar is so important to this lineup. That's what a Bristleback is capable of, and they're very quickly capable of making a lot of these rotations to be able to even things out.
Yeah. And now, again, Noob just being really active. This is what I like to see from somebody who didn't have the greatest of laning phases. He knows that he just needs to be active, right? He just needs to start unlocking some of these other cores and really starting to shut down some of these aggressive movements, and he's done a good job so far. Kaori was one that was getting charged there by Crit, but they will get away, and once he builds up this Blade Mail as well, Noob's going to be a bit of a nuisance in these team fights. Like, you can't really throw out a lot of this uncontrollable damage, things like overwhelming odds, Eclipse, there's a lot of damage coming in from the Dragon Slave and the LSAs, so Noob in this Blade Mail can be a bit of a thorn in this side once he picks it up.
Yeah, for sure, and he's basically got it right now, just coming out to him on the Courier, so he's putting some decent pressure on this tower. He's been left solo up on this top lane, and he's certainly keeping up in net worth.
Yeah, he's doing a good job so far. So, Amar matching the Blade Mails. So he will be another scary boy in these next couple of team fights. Noob and Crit are just going to stare lovingly at each other across the river here, because Crit does have a shield rune, so he has literally 1 billion HP.
So stupid, man.
Yes.
So stupid.
It's like looking back at things like Repair Kit and Poor Man's Shield. You're like, why was Shield
don't
rune
remind
a
me.
thing?
High ground's already hard enough to take. Imagine if Repair Kit was still in the game.
It would be 70-minute games minimum. Noob gonna come in now with the Inkswell, but the Blade Mail turns back around. Amar wants to try and come in, but that's a lot of damage. Laguna Blade, he still wins the duel though. So Noob gets that extra bit of damage to start out the game here. They're gonna come in with a Soul Bind. Amar wants to try and keep these people all in together. And a beautiful double sprout as well from Kaori, but I think with Skinner here, it's going to be too hard for Amar to get away. That's a double kill there for the Lina. So Noob.
Still though, during all of this, the net worth lead was 4k. It's shrunk down to 1 in all of this time. A lot of it on the back of just a lot of space being made for TA2000. Able to just continue farming, not even needing to level up that Song of the Siren. And yeah, getting some dual damage on Earth Spirit. It's an Earth Spirit. You're not exactly right-clicking that much, but you'll take it.
Yeah, I mean, once he starts getting to these later stages, when he has like BKB plus, you know, maybe a heart, he's going to do a lot of right-click damage. So, I mean, these dual wins, they need to start coming towards the Legion Commander. Every bit of dual victory that you give away to somebody else is the worst-case scenario. So, Noob. He's now being charged. Oh, he is so dead. There is just too much magic damage. Yeah, the Blade Mail is going to do a lot. Will get a kick away. Gets the Rolling Boulder as well, and now into the Inkswell. He's A-OK, but I think with the Dragon Slave, that might be able to take him down. No, he's still alive. Just means now that the duel will come in and take down Kaori. So the first bit of duel damage going the way of Amar.
I'm still surprised that Noob ends up living as a result of that. Even gets a healing salve given over to him from the trusty shovel, so it still has that full duration, not down to half.
Yep. I think that was Raindrops was the reason why he didn't die to the Dragon Slave. So I thought they certainly had enough to kill him, right? Like, I was shocked and appalled that he didn't go down.
There was 4 heroes around him, man.
And it's only going to get worse. Like, it is only going to get worse. He's got the heart queued up. He's got the Hand of Midas. I feel like Noob just goes, all right, what are the items of the patch? Yes, Blade Mount. Checked off. Okay, heart. Yeah. Hand of Midas. Okay, I'm just going to build all of them on every hero and see how we go.
I mean, you can't go wrong building these things, basically. Like, that is the meta. And that is, like, they don't exactly have the biggest counters either for a lot of this stuff. I mean, we talk about what they need to do on Falcons to be able to continue to scale. Elsie, if she's not getting those dual kills, ends up falling behind pretty damn quickly. So the best way to avoid that, A, use Earth Spirit in his really good strength game to be able to, just with the Midas, get a lot of levels early on. Or B, go for the heart, and it means that basically if you get dueled, you're probably not dying.
Yeah, it's going to be a tanky boy. So we'll see if he can hold out for long enough. I think the biggest thing for me is having a quick look in with Malik. He's almost got the Aghanim Scepter at this point, and we talked about Amar having such a strong game on the Bristleback in the previous series. Malik's having a pretty good start to his as well. He's about, what, 800 gold away from finishing off that Aghanim Scepter, and we can see how much burst damage that does. Kaori. Oh, he's trying to be a sneaky boy.
Cheeky.
He's got a nice ward here.
Leeching XP.
Yeah.
Imagine if the glaives just started bouncing onto him in the fog. He's like, no.
I was gonna say, I was like, imagine if the glaives do bounce and then Skinner just goes, oh, he's like, there's somebody here. That's an actual jump scare as a carry player. You're just farming agents. You're probably looking on the opposite side of the map. You're talking to some player about some item timings that you want to hit, and then next thing you know, you see a glaive bounce into the trees.
What?
Why are the trees walking? Why are they moving?
Well, here we go. There's that Blink Dagger that we're talking about, in time with the level 10 as well for Amar, so they are going to be looking for a smoke as quickly as possible. Melreen just getting back, filling up on the mana. He's got, of course, the Boots of Travel to be able to make a play with. Smokes, though. Snaking's got one. That's it.
But snaking
picking
is...
out, like, we need to be smoking, and just gets delivered on the courier from Crit.
So this is a big timing now. 14 Falcons, who do they find? So it looks like Kaori is the one on the list.
Yeah. They know they've got vision there, though, so they're going to back off.
Maybe it is worth just for the dual damage. Try and get Amar to a better stance of that dual victory status. Noob, though. Oh, they break the smoke, so they know that something's happening. That was a weird blink there from Amar. Doesn't get and find anybody. They've clicked the haste rune as well from Noob. They want to fight this to Quest.
I mean, Malik's here. He's got his level 12. He's got his Bristleback available.
Yep, they found Amar by himself. They don't see him because it's night time. So Melreen will be able to pick off Kaori on the side, and that means that they will just be able to get away scot-free. And PSG Quest don't connect on anybody just yet. Oh, it's snaking. The worst possible hero for you to run into is just an Enchantress. You hate to see that. That's like the puppy special, right? Like, you're just walking around as an Enchantress, just do-do-do-do, and then you're like, oh, I break a 5-man smoke. Cool. Thanks, guys. You don't want to kill me. See ya.
Catch you later, buddy. And you mentioned the nighttime being a factor. Obviously, he was still just sitting back and farming on Skitter at the time, but that's another advantage that they've got on Falcons, right? They've got that Lunar Blessing for the increased night vision. You've even got Spirit Breaker, who's probably going to go the +4 armor, but if he wanted to, he can go +500 night vision as well, just to be able to open up the map. And if you were wanting to go a bit more down that ganking route, maybe Falcons are just going to be playing this on, like, you know, a pendulum. You know, during the daytime, we're farming. During the nighttime, we're ganking.
Yeah, Crit becomes the all-seeing space cowl of the night. Being able to have like an extra 1k plus, yeah, with a Midas. It's rolling out to him right now. Midas check on Mr. Earth Spirit. He's going to be finishing off the heart first, so he went for the vitality booster. Thought maybe it might be time to pit stop for the Reaver, but didn't want to be the greedy boy. So again, it is just Farm City for both these two carries. Skitter is starting to eke out a small lead up against the Naga Siren, who does have the Manta style moving in towards her own heart, whereas Skitter has the Manta as well as the Mask of Madness, so he's always going to farm just a little bit faster than the Naga Siren.
Oh, he's even got the Specialist's Array on Skitter as well, so even faster farming going to be coming through for the Luna. I don't know why this item is still in the game. It's just way too strong for any kind of range carry. Even supports, honestly. It just picks up your farming speed a ridiculous amount.
So another smoke once again here from Team Falcons. Looking to see if they can catch some of these members farming. They really want to try and catch out tier 2000. Maybe they can catch Noob in rotation as well. Catch these heroes before they have those next set of items, before they start getting extremely tanky, because Malik's at the point now. Shard, Aghanim Scepter done, so it is maximum damage time for the Bristleback.
Again, it's all about you being the ones to get the jump, though. And in terms of the vision game, it's probably Falcons with a very slight lead right now. Basically, only around the mid lane do they have any sort of information on Quest, which is pretty understandable. You want to see if there's a Spirit Breaker charging from bottom to top or top to bottom. But the information that they're getting from Snaking's ward inside of the Dire Triangle probably gives them the better options as to, you know, where exactly can we look to make a few of these ganks happen.
Yeah, I think they can definitely, safely say that the top side of the map is exactly where Quest want to be, and they will get confirmation that at least tier 2000 will be up to the top side. So they know that the real Naga Siren is there as well. Alright, early Roche on the tables here. Going to be able to do it nice and easily with the Viscous Nasal Goo. And TA2000 with the Riptide as well. So negative 24 armor. He's currently on Roshan. So he has 6 armor, so he's just going to get punched for 1 billion. Who are they going to give it to? They're going to give it to Malik, so it seems like they want to just start charging towards a lot of these tier 1 towers here.
Now, I'm not really doing my job as the analyst here, but I'm not actually sure how this sort of interaction works. With Grimstroke, he's got the Aghanim Shard, so the Inkswell now, you know, does that healing, does more damage, provides a strong dispel, but it says, upon expiration, the target will receive a strong dispel. So I'm just wondering what the interaction's going to be like with Snaking if he uses his enchant onto that. If it's going to be like, you know, a Dark Willow, Cursed Crown sort of interaction, where it just immediately pops with the Aghanim Shard if you just even dispel it. I kind of get the feeling that it will, and it'll provide a strong dispel, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, you know, I would say go with your gut on that one, and it seems logic dictates if that's the way some of the other ones work, then I'd imagine this is probably the way that works, but I know sometimes...
Yoink away the enemy Tormentor as well. Look at Malik.
Yeah. He can do it. He's getting charged at, though. Wants to just keep getting these goos.
If he gets low enough, the team's going to be like, well, you can maybe join at the very last second. And yeah, he's going to back off in time.
I was going to say, did they get the...
being provided, though, by the Observer Ward in mid.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think they got a little bit of vision of crit, so it looks like that mid ward, as you did say. But Malik's going to try it again. So he's going to start building up the odd goo stacks here, and then he will be able to pop the Aghanims. Oh, I thought he missed it. Oh. I was going to say, I wasn't quite sure if he actually had the direction facing to get the quills onto the Tormentor, but they get the steal, and Noob gets the shard. So what even is a Grit Shard? Oh, okay, Geo Grip Allies. Okay.
Not bad for something like, you know, just getting out of range of a Luna, making sure that, you know, if there's a Light Strike Array combination, maybe you just juke someone out of it. Not the worst.
Grip and kick at a duel. Not bad, not bad. So... see if it does pan out, and now he's going to be able to kill his own Tormentor as well. So it's wonderful that Bristleback can just do this, guys. Very cool, very awesome, totally top tier,
Very
and
fair.
totally not unfair at all. Kind of unfair to Kaori that his mid laner and his position 1 player get the shard before he does on the Nature's Prophet, but...
I mean, he's got it queued up, but honestly, what's the point? You know, in like 10 or so minutes, you're going to get one for yourself. I think you can just look to go a little bit greedier, you know, maybe the Solar Crest for the team, not just to, you know, buff up whatever target they're going up onto, but, you know, Solar Crest on the Legion Commander or the Luna, it really hinders a lot of the right-click damage that they're going to be doing.
Yeah, that's very true. We'll see if he wants to...
The team fight is a lot stronger, though, on Quest now, as a result of that, right? The song healing for 5% every second for 8 seconds is real significant.
Oh, Malrine just gets away from Malik on the Bristleback, and yeah, as you said, I think that's going to be a little underrated part, and it's going to be not something that you're going to be thinking about as well if you're Team Falcon, right? Because like usually you're not thinking of a Naga Siren having an Aghanim Shard at all at this point in the game, or even most of the game anyway. So it's really big that Malik was able to steal both of those Tormentors, gets a lot of this extra gold going their way.
Using the Shadow Blade at the moment, not wanting to blink in just yet.
Does still have the Aegis.
He's got to make sure that if he does duel, that it's turned towards Malrine. Otherwise, Malik is not dying.
It looks like they think against it for now, so he will just pop the Bloodstone and just start throwing out all those little quills in the goo. So there will be another fight that's going to be happening in an awkward part of the river, because Pritch is going to go through the entirety of Quest. Charges directly there onto the Bristleback. It's a lot of these goo stacks going forward here onto the Spirit Breaker, and unfortunately he's just going to have no way of getting away from the Naga. And Malik will just continue his rampage across Team Falcon so far. The Aghanim Spit and the Aghanim Stab. It's too much for them to deal with. Malik gets the double kill, and this game felt like a League of Legends game for a very long time here, Matt, but we finally turned back into Dota mode with some kills happening at the 20-minute mark.
About time, to be honest, you know. There's a reason that is a bad game. But we've got Boots of Travel coming out very shortly for the Bristleback as well. And it even just goes back down to, are they going to be able to get anything here? It might be a Mar that's gone a little bit too deep.
Did he just auto attack out of invis, or did his
Not
invis
sure.
run out? Because I was looking at him and I was like, oh yeah, okay, he's just doing some scouting, and then I look over and I'm like, wait, hold up, he's out of invis. Okay.
Radiant's middle tower is under
Go off.
attack.
Anyways, he lost his life, and that's the only facts that we have right now.
Just the 10 tool damage so far, really not what you're wanting. And I mean, you can see what we were talking about the entire time, right? You compare offlaners. You've got a Bristleback that's got about 5k more net worth than the Legion Commander, just because, I mean, what are you meant to do if you're not getting dual kills? I'm a little surprised that there hasn't been more connection coming through between Malrine and Amar.
Yeah, it really has felt like they're just kind of stagnated, right? Like they got this Blink Dagger, they got the Shadow Blade. They went for one smoke, and it only connected on a Kaori, and I'm not even sure if they got the dual win out of that. I think they had a dual win in some other part of the map. So it really has kind of stagnated now for Team Falcon, and they just haven't been able to get those connections with a lot of their heroes, and it's just gotten to the point where now Noob has the Heart of Tarask, so he has almost 3,000 HP with a Blair Mill. Malik is basically out of control with this Bloodstone and the Aghanim Scepter build, so these tanky cores that are really starting to become hard to kill, and same with the Naga Siren now that she has the Aghanim Shard. If the duel doesn't go out onto the Naga, Song of the Siren's going to come out, and they're just going to get that 5% max HP heal onto these massively tanky cores, and you're never killing anybody inside of that duel, even if they all get through the Song of the Siren with BKBs.
Yeah, it's exactly the point I was about to raise, right? You've already got 2 hearts on 2 of your cores. Bristleback can pretty happily get one next if he really wants to, but again, he's just doubling down on, I want to get on top of Lina, I want to get on top of Luna, make sure that they don't have that safe lane.
And speaking of, Lina has found out Kaori, but then the rest of Quest, they hit the Power Rangers button and they will rainbow TP towards the top side of the map. Noob will miss that rolling boulder, but Snaking, fortunately, isn't going to be too far away. They want to try and go in and win this fight, but as we see the Song of the Siren, look at how much HP he is healing. The kick away as well. The Song of the Siren is doing too much work for this team fight. Look at the heal from Malik as well. He just gets stunned and there's nothing they can do. Amal will be able to TP away. They don't have the damage to take down the Legion Commander. But 5% max HP heal per second, doesn't matter what you got. They are healing all too much, and with no AA on the field, it looked all too simple for Quest.
They dealt so much damage. There was 7.2k damage done by the Luna in that fight, but it's just not enough. It's actually ridiculous how much they're able to provide there. And, well, this really starts to give a bit of an issue now for Falcons, right? You're not getting dual kills, you're not getting solo pickoffs outside of... I mean, Malrine was able to get one, but it was just onto Kaori, so it doesn't even really matter that much.
It's definitely not worth if you lose the Lina and the Luna, right? Like, there's just too much net worth that you just swung the way of Quest, and now they're the ones that are finally in the lead when it comes to that net worth, and they are starting to rock and roll. We are getting towards the pointy end of this game here, Matt, and they are starting to get the stranglehold. They still do have a few more objectives to be able to claim. A lot of Tier 2 towers, all of the Tier 2 towers, if I'm being correct. So there's still plenty of time left in this game. Exactly, another Roshan.
Quick one.
Ooh, yeah, okay. 10 seconds after the potential spawn time.
Quick blink there by Malrine to be able to get on out.
Do you still give the Aegis to the Bristleback at this point if you Quest, or did you try and give it to maybe Noob? I don't know if either of them are dying. Like that's the question. Is they both almost have 3,000 HP, and if things ever get bad and they've got Song of the Siren, like that's too much HP to get through.
Yeah, but second Roshan is for high ground and it's for opening up, and really Earth Spirit isn't doing too much right clicks onto a tier 3 tower. You need the Bristleback with the Warpath stacks to be able to do that.
Alright. So, Malik, your Aegis awaits. I think they want to try and get some kills first. They at least see the illusions here from the Luna. They will know that the Bristleback is in the area because those illusions and the crit wave will instantly die. Snaking.
You just don't see anyone on the map right now. That's why they're playing so tightly clumped together on Falcons. They're still waiting for that jump that Amar's able to get, but again, he needs to be playing with someone else on his team. He doesn't have the damage, he doesn't have the scaling to be able to pick off anyone. Maybe even, I mean, Kaori probably dies, but almost anyone else live.
They found Malrine in the top lane. They saw him off this ward on the high ground. They just don't have the connection to be able to catch out the Lina. Gonna have to wait 16 seconds.
Ooh,
Oh,
that
the scan.
is-
Oh,
I
it's
didn't
the
wanna say
radiant scan.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. They know. Ooh! Oh, what?
The quick fingers.
What
This
kind
guy's
of
hacking. Check him, PC. Malreen, he's been found. Malik, he's on top of him. He knows exactly where he is. They don't have where's some of the TP. Ooh, he was in the right direction, but Noob wasn't close enough.
God damn, presence of mind there. Malreen is bonkers.
That was a butt pucker on that one. That was like a.
That's a clench, full clench.
Yeah, that was full send on that one. Want to play with fire? Yeah, Malreen, you're playing with fire there, brother. That is full show. But with that, we'll just open up Roche. So, Quest, they're going to secure the next objective. Will be Roshan number 2. Cheese? Probably Noob? Yeah, it looks like Noob has opened up a slot.
I'd give
for
that
it.
one to Noob. Looks like they want to give it to TA. And I guess it makes sense, right? There is still a little bit of a wind-up to be able to cast Song of the Siren, so if you're really in trouble, just pop the cheese and then Song, but otherwise, you just have to think about, you know, going high ground now, right? Malik, he's level 20, so he's got that extra quill stack damage, and now with the Aegis, he's going to be the one on the front lines getting dueled. But if he gets dueled, he's going to have a second life, and you've got another 50 seconds, so just keep the back turned, keep hitting that tower, and you'll be A-okay.
Looks like they are going to try and attempt something here against Malik, who is just dealing with the creep waves as Tier 2000 is in the top lane just taking down these Tier 2 towers. I guess they are happy with putting Malik on the front line even if he doesn't have any homies around, considering they still do have the TP scrolls available. So now it's just, it really has felt like that it is all Quest all across the map now, and the question is, what's a Team Falcon look like when their defense has to come in? Do you still just try and duel the Bristleback? Is that kind of the answer here for Team Falcon as they go high ground? You want to try and duel the Bristle and blow him up in that first life, and then hopefully the next couple of seconds of the team fight goes your way?
For Falcons, it's almost getting to the point where you need to duel the Grimstroke, because he's close to getting the Aghanim Scepter, and you're already having a rough time getting through the damage. Imagine if you've got a Dark Portrait Luna clone coming back at you.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Much
It seems like
easier
this,
to pick him off as well.
Yeah, it seems like there's a lot of issues that PSG Quest are really posing towards Team Falcons right now, and so far across the qualifier, it really has felt like the PSG have really had the number of Team Falcons in a lot of these series. Malik, he just blinks in. He's inside of the base. This guy's an absolute madman, and he has done absolutely nothing with that Aghanim's back turn. But look at all the healing that he has with the Bloodstone, so he's going to be okay.
How is that balanced?
That was bonkers that he got down to like 100 HP, then healed back up like 500 HP with a single quill spray.
As soon as that was happening, I just had my eyes on Amar. He was off on the other side of the map. They might finally get a dual kill here over onto Cowrie. You're going to need to make a choice. Looks like they've claim it, but will it be for nothing in return?
Yeah, he's going to lose his life here, so is an extra 28 dual damage worth you losing your life for 50 seconds?
Out of the base, I guess. Malreen? Oof.
Oh.
Daddy Tormentor doing way too much. Even Skinner, with everything being popped, isn't going to be able to do it. Just be a Bristleback and be able to take it solo, XD.
Yeah, I mean, just be a Bristleback, bro. It's not that hard. This is pretty simple. Just turn your back, forehead. Doesn't everybody have these these quills on their back? And yeah, well, he's just gonna walk in with the help of some buddies, and he's just gonna kill everything. I feel like
everyone has a shard, so it's more about just denying it away from Falcons.
Oh yeah, that's true. Everybody does have their shards, so it's a lot of golden experience as well. So I think that's a pretty decent play. I think the thing for me that makes Bristleback taking the Tormentor so broken is the fact that he gets the DR because he's not facing the Tormentor. Whereas I think it should just like the Tormentor damage should like be internal. Yeah, it should be like
internal bleeding.
It should be omnidirectional for the Bristleback, where it's like it doesn't matter where he is technically facing because the damage will always come from in front of him.
You go to the doctor for Tormentor exposure, it's like, the test results aren't looking good.
It's all internal. Malik, you're going to have to get it amputated. We're going to have to do an extraction.
Yeah.
We have a tormented soul. That's some real anime profile pick stuff right there.
From the game after this next patch comes out. Brent's getting caught out here.
Yeah, Malik has a Yule Scepter, so he just walked in and he Yulesed up Mr. Crit, who has to BKB and run himself away. So he will live, but a BKB charge had to be used that time around. So they are still holding out here, our Team Falcons. And to be fair, they don't have much left on this Aegis, and they haven't really tickled the high ground. They've done a little bit of damage to this tier 3 top, but that is about it. So, Quest aren't really seemingly in a hurry to end this game.
Radiant's bottom tower is
You
under
are
attack.
playing with an Argus Siren, right? And now you're about to take the last tier 2 tower of the game. So where exactly can you look to move around? They haven't been able to group up and ball down and really play around the strength of a Luna draft
Radiant's
either.
bottom tower has fallen.
That's the scary part. He's just not being able to get the kills early on. Snaking gets hit by the Silver Edge. They will have the ensnare coming in from the Nagasara. Gets directly on top with a lot of this magical damage. And now with Malik on the low ground with the bristleback turn. I also hate the fact that
Tower is under attack.
What else do
Collapse made the one level bristleback meta.
Yeah,
Because it's like
I
you just
think-
proc more bristles. That's stupid. That's like it's like the same thing
That's so
Ags
clever
thing.
though. That's one of the most next level things I've ever heard. You know?
Some real
Like when it
nerd
first
stuff.
happened, we were like, "Wow, what an absolute genius god!" But now we're like, "Man, why'd you have to do that?"
Yeah. It's like the game shouldn't be broken in this way. That was just a pure oversight with the way that the game gets
Amar's
determined.
got BKB. You're pushing high ground without the Aegis.
Oh.
He's got to die, but you need the Lina to be able to kill him.
And now they get the Song of the
Oh.
Siren off, so I don't think they've really got enough damage here from Amari. He's taunted, but with the
Gets
cheese,
the
he
cheese.
comes out full HP. It does not matter. And Team Falcon, they have thrown everything into the wind, and unfortunately, it came blown back into their face. They at least still have the BKB ready for Skidder, but
They got a Dark Portrait illusion just whacking away at the base.
yeah, that's the worst part. They at least don't have creeps just yet here inside of the base. Good quest. So you have to be very, very careful for the next couple of seconds while this backdoor is still up, but they're just going to charge through it. And they say, we don't care. We've got a Luna. We can bounce these glaives around and do a lot more damage than what you guys can just standing here. So eventually the creeps will be able to come back in and be able to finish this up for the side of Quest. Mark's going to go in with the bristleback. Doesn't get it done. Now with the Silver Edge goes up into the air, we'll be able to have that BKB as he comes back down. Look at the damage. They get it done. 90 seconds with no Malik. They have lost a lane of Frax, but this is where you need Quest to just hit that go away button. They want to try and get him towards the backside. Beautiful angle there from Crit. Connects there onto Omar. They want to try and get the kill here onto Kaori. They'll get the duel, so it's an extra bit of duel damage here for Amar. And it is now finally some signs of life for Team Falcon, but they lose a lane of Rax out of it.
Finally some signs of life, finally some damage starting to be built up. It still did result in a buyback being expended by the Lina as well. I was wondering who was going to be the one that actually went and bought that Silver Edge, right? Because Amar's been holding on to just a Shadow Blade for quite some time, and that's not really what you want, right? You want the full Silver Edge, or you want an item that's probably going to enable you to be just that little bit tankier on the front lines. How many times have we seen him, duel or, get the enemy gets the duel damage, or he just dies immediately after? Like, he's going to a 4-staff next. I wonder if that's going to be just down the route of anticipating that a Lincoln Sphere is coming on someone on Quest's side, just so that he can always guarantee that he's going to get a duel off.
Yeah, but still, even if you're preempting a Lincoln Chili, you just go
is still
Halberd, right?
powerful. Like, they won a team fight inside their own base, and they're still able to potentially take a tier 3 tower off the back of this. The double damage helps, the drums aura helps for sure, but it's still kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, they are eviscerating this tier 3 tower. They're going to walk forward. That's a Hex down there onto Skidder, but they at least get the full Dispel. So they get away. So that was potentially a bad set of scenarios for the side of Team Falcon, but they walk away and they get a lot of damage onto a tier 3 tower. So next time, could be Atlanta Axe.
Man, I know I love the Aghanim Scepter on the Grimstroke when you're going into a Luna, but you just have to be so good with your micro. And Omar has been. Like, as soon as you use that Dark Portrait, you got to get the Dark Portrait the hell out of there, because those glaives just basically instantly kill it if you don't. Like, that's what happened in that past engagement there, and so you're going to need to combo it together with some sort of stun, just so that you do have the ability to get it away, because 350% extra damage taken, don't get me wrong, like, Skidder is a very, very beefy boy at this stage, so any sort of Dark Portrait illusion is going to be instantly demolished if he isn't right on point there.
Yeah, and that's going to be the next couple of engagements. Is going to be about how Omar is able to utilize that Dark Portrait, but the next couple of engagements are probably going to be determined by this Aegis and Skidder. He's going to walk in, he's going to have these Manta illusions, he's going to be able to just leave here, and they're just not responding, and you're going to have to use a glyph here, so you're getting a lot of information if you are Team Falcons. This is a beautiful play by them, just understanding that there's no real right for them to be able to be in the top side of the map, so let's just try and take some objectives, and look at the damage that they're doing here to the Raxes.
Well, that's a nice way to be able to do it, just use the Dark Portrait onto a Lunar Illusion instead.
Now, they're walking in, they want to get these fights going. Look at how much damage they're setting in towards the Earth
Heal.
Spirit. Do they have the healing? It's not going to be enough to save his life, but they at least get the trade there onto Amar. And now Crit wants to try and walk away. TA2000 claims yet another. Skidder wants to try and get the TP away. Do they have the damage? They've got a lot, but not enough. So they will lose out on 2 heroes for the side of Team Falcons. They lose out on Noob. But they get the kills that they need here. Look at Skidder, what an annoying little bugger. He still just sends his illusion up onto the high ground, does a little bit of unhealable damage onto the range racks. But Malik, what are you doing inside of the base, brother? This is probably not the best place for you to be, especially with the pure damage that comes in from Snake King.
He's got the Enchanted
That's
Quiver
just
as
a
well.
free Aegis. He still has a BKB to play around with. Look at that damage that comes in from the Laguna blade, but he's still a tanky boy. So
Moonstone available as well, so he should be A-okay.
yeah, he also does have a potential for the Refresher Shard. They do have the Dark Portrait once again here onto the Luna, but as you said, 350% extra damage onto that illusion means that it just gets eviscerated by the glaives. And now Quest, they have to respect the high gun. It is very hard for them to, as we've said many a time, hard for them to go high ground.
Children help.
Especially without the Aegis.
Under attack.
Yeah, true. On TA or maybe Malik? Nah, what
I
do
mean,
you
he's going
mean?
for
A
the
hero that has...
Wind Waker next, it seems, on Malik. Yeah, it's good to be able to save from the duel. I kind of want to see the AC first. Like, you're the one that's going to be getting gone on. The Wind Waker doesn't really provide you any extra layer of protection, so just get a little bit of extra armor. Why not?
Yeah, I would be happy to agree with that, but we'll see either way. He's got a lot of gold in the back pocket, so Malik, this game
This
could be
ward
over
reveal
before he even does need
where
it.
the couriers were pathing as well, so they know that they're playing around this general sort of area.
Oh. TA2000, he's found out Snaking. They get directly here onto the Enchantress and they just blow her up. So Snaking's not going to be a part of this fight for the next couple of seconds.
Are scanning.
They've found out one of the creatures.
Even just using
Malrine,
the Silver Edge there
Skidder.
gets rid of the Untouchable. They realize that Snake King's a legitimate threat, despite being last on net worth. This Enchantress, if you leave her alone, can just ball out of control.
Well, you can see how much damage that he did towards Malik, right? Where the impetus shots just got rained across from across the map. And it was more than enough here. Kaori, dirty little boy in the background here, just drops some obs and sentries to be able to give him that extra bit of vision because they want to see where Malrine is. This is where it starts getting spicy because if they get in towards the better part of that base and Malik just turns his backs and starts spitting those quills.
They're just
Get
about
this
ready to
Luna
go.
nice and low early on.
Look at this. He's got the cheese moved in. He's still got the shield rune. He got given the cheese over by someone, so he wants to be able to make that sort of dive.
Is it going to be able to provide them enough space to be able to make this fight happen? West will continue to just keep pushing in these waves. And will continue to just keep chipping down. You can just see the issues they had trying to push the high gun. They at least claim that tier 2 tower in the mid lane. I love this smoke coming in from Team Falcons though. Just kind of getting themselves onto the front foot. They can do a lot of work with these lunar illusions to keep these lanes pushed out. If they catch some of these members of Quest lacking as they're starting to
Vision is
retreat
doing so
here.
much.
Noob gets caught out. The duel goes forward. Do they have the damage to try and take down this Earth
Song,
Spirit?
song,
They
song.
have a lot of healing. It's 5%. Look at how much
Malrine
life he
wasn't
gets
there.
back, man. Noob is full HP, and now with the Song of the Siren, they want to go in towards the background. Crit is going to try and take down the Grimstroke. They do not have this Dark Pocket. Skidder, though, oh so low. Malik wants to try to stand there and just try and throw out these quills. Skidder has to go away. He's so low here on the Luna, walks away while the Eclipse is going on with the
Regen
BKB,
top.
and Malik is just standing tall and walking in as this Bristleback. They will lose Snaking on the sidelines,
Oh,
but Malik,
Miles!
he's going to walk in, and Noob goes forward, gets rid of Skidder. They will not have their carry for Team Falcons. Malik will have to just continue to try and find more of these Team Falcon members. But he isn't able to connect there on Malrine, who will just have to walk away. And Quest, they will pounce at the opportunity of keeping their Earth Spirit alive, and now they will make Team Falcons pay for it.
I'm pretty sure that was a Yule's dodge as well of the Laguna Blade, so Malik is just playing like an absolute beast, using that Yule Scepter, not needing to level it up, to being the full Wind Waker, and yeah, they're in the base, they're just keeping the pressure up.
Alright, Noob, that was a little bit awkward there. He put himself into the stone form, but now TH2000's in such an awkward spot. It's so hard for them to try and take down this Nagasaran, but they get it done. So there's no Nagasaran for 90 seconds. Kaori will go down as well. You can just see these buybacks and how much they want to try and utilize them here for Team Falcons. They want to try and stay away from this Bristleback. He's got so much lifesteal thanks to that 25 talent, but in front of him is Malreed, and the Laguna Blade will claim the next kill. So Quest, they get repelled once again. They do at least claim another lane of racks, Matt.
And they've got the buybacks, you know, so this Luna shouldn't be able to just completely freely end the game right now. It's still a scary prospect to be in. All it takes is one lost fight. You can see that the win probability keeps bouncing up and down, up and down. It's still in favor of Quest right now, about 74%. But, well, Skitter's about to reach his own level 25 as well.
You've got to remember, Skitter did buy back in that previous fight. I want to go in for a fight here. Noob goes forward, gets dueled up. They have to get these buybacks going. How much damage can they do? Amar goes down. Noob goes down as well, but he's got the buyback, as we said. There's buyback here for Amar if he wants to try and get into it. They're going to use the Eclipse, but no BKB for Skitter. No life and no buyback. That is 1 minute and 20, or I mean 2 minutes on the sidelines now for the carry of Team Falcons, and they are looking to try and get crit as well. The Yules goes up into the air. Do they have the damage? Can he find him? No, he doesn't have him with the spitball. And Crit will just try and buy a bit of space. He does have a charge to at least try and get himself to some other part of the map. What's the best place for him to try and go? It's just going to try and take this Crit wave. Malik's there, and he gets the kill, so Spirit Breaker will just buy it back into this fight.
That's one way to get back to base, though. Just buy back.
Yeah.
Instantly get there.
That's the fastest way.
Here we go. They've got a minute and a half to be able to close this game out. They still do have the duel. They've got the level 25 as well on the Lena, so all of that pure damage is going to be putting in so much work. I just don't think they have the sustain to be able to truly make it happen.
And let's see what the idea is. They want to try and put the pressure on the tier 4 towers. They could have potentially tried to take a whole line of racks, but they want to try and end this game while Skitter is still not available for another minute. Crit. Beautiful charge through, does a lot of damage, at least now with the reel in. It doesn't really do all too much onto that Spirit Breaker. Once again, goes in the stone form, does Noob. They're going to get the Soul Bind, they're going to get the Dark Portraits. It's only really onto the Spirit Breaker and the Enchantress, so these Dark Portraits aren't going to be that great, but now with the Ancient mode, there's going to be a lot of these trees. They want to try and fight, but they want to try and stop this fight. TA2000 gets the duel in, the Laguna Blade, it's a lot of damage, and now Malreen gets back inside of the fountain, but look at this HP on the Ancient. They need to try and keep this going, need to try and keep it alive. Malik's there with the punches, and Quest will get the first game victory here in this grand final best of 5. They had to work for it though, Matt, and it got to a point where eventually they were able to close